Hello and welcome back to another one of Paul's beer reviews. Hope you're all doing well. I'm going to crack on with beer number 2 from the Oktoberfest box of beers that I've got sent to me last week. The first one I did was Weihenstephaner, which was incredible. And the second one is Paulaner with their Oktoberfest beer. And this one is coming in at 6% ABV, 500ml bottle. There's the artwork, a festive take on the traditional Paulaner artwork. Got the Ferris wheel, we've got a lot of beer maidens in the background. I like the fact they've gone for they're kind of giving it like the barreled effect on the Paulaner logo. Really like that. So gone very traditional with that. Really like that one. What's it say? 6% ABV, Oktoberfest beer. Brewed in accordance with the Bavarian Purity Law 1516, speciality beer, ingredients, water, malted barley and hops. That's all you want to see on the back of a German beer, really. The crown is the same as it always is. So, the standard Paulaner beer cap. And without any further ado, let's get this one out of the bottle. A little bit of smoke when you open into that one. Bit of a carbonation rush. Let's get this into the stein. We'll go for the double pour. See if we can build up a nice big head. That's already developing a lovely looking head. And just as the Weihenstephaner, that is pure gold, crystal clear. A little bit of carbonation there, just running up the glass. Let's get the rest of that in there after a bit of a wriggle. There's a little bit more life in this one than there was the Weihenstephaner. But I mean, look at that. That's a picture in it. That is a picture. Picture German beer. If you were to take a picture of a German beer, that's what it would look like. I'm loving that. Let's see if I can get the rest of that in there. Might do. That was a bit aggressive. Dribbled a bit. Top her up. Wallop. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Let's leave that there so we can see it. The Paulaner Oktoberfest. There she is in the glass. That is a picture. Again, crystal clear, pure gold. Carbonation seems to have died down a little bit, perhaps not as lively as the Weihenstephaner one was, but it's got a solid 2-finger, creamy white head on it. Looks the part. Let's get me snout in, see what the aroma's telling us. Smells good without being in your face. It's tiny bit of citrus, tiny bit of malt. The aroma's not as strong as the Weihenstephaner one was, but it's similar. There's a bready malt, slight bit of floral, herbal aroma coming through. Tiny bit of lemon. It smells nice. Smells nice, subtle. Let's get stuck in. Cheers. Bit more citrus forward, this one. Slightly more carbonated as well than the Weihenstephaner. Bit more of a zing to it. A bit more crisp. It's not a word. It's a word I don't like to use when I'm reviewing beers, but it does nail it. It has a more of a crisp sort of Heller's lager style to it, I think, this one. It's smooth. It's malty. Ridiculously drinkable. It's 6% this one. And again, I'm just not getting that 6% ABV. How is this a 6% beer? Oh, but it's gorgeous. It's lovely. It's really good. It's a subtle. This seems to me like it's a more malty, a more easy drinking version of the Heller's lager for me. If their Heller's lager tasted like this, I'd probably drink more of it, because I'm not a massive fan of the Paulaner Hells. I think there are better Heller's lagers out there. Their Weizen's very good. But yeah, I think their Heller's Lager is a bit sort of middle of the road for me. If their Heller's Lager tasted a bit more like this, it was a bit more malty, I'd probably drink it all the time, because this is lovely. This is more lager-esque than Weihenstephaner for me. But like I say, it's really easy drinking. Slightly more carbonation effect to it. Really throws a citrus, floral. The malt really comes through. Really nice sort of white bread. Not particularly sweet, but it's a nice bready malt. And it's got a good body to it. Really coats the palate. And you're left with a combination of that sort of malty sweetness, subtle malty floral sweetness, with a little bit of very slight sort of herbal bitterness at the back end. Seems to be a pattern developing there. But it's so easy drinking. So easy drinking. Like I say, the carbonation levels are slightly higher than this one. Which you perhaps probably couldn't drink as many of these as you could the Weihenstephaner. I think the Weihenstephaner is maybe slightly more easy drinking than this. But take nothing away from it. This is a beautifully made beer. And again, if you were at a German beer festival and you had this on tap, wow, you'd be in luck. You really would. Germans brew their festival beers. I get the impression they brew their festival beers for sessioning. The ABV would suggest maybe not, but the mouthfeel, the drinkability would suggest that they do. I mean, the drinkability, the mouthfeel and everything just makes it so easy. And I want another one. I'm having the same thoughts I had with the Weihenstephaner. I wish I had more. A subscriber said that apparently you can get this at Majestic Wines at the moment. They're apparently selling it. If that's the case, I think I might have to pop down to my local Majestics and buy a load of these, because it's terrific. It's a terrific beer. Not sure it's quite as good as the Weihenstephaner. I think the Weihenstephaner was perfect. I think the only thing that stops this from being perfect is perhaps that carbonation level being a little bit higher. Excuse me. Which just doesn't quite, it fills you up a little bit more. I can feel a little bit of bloatiness now in my gut. A little bit of carbonation, almost like a slight blockage. Not a blockage, that sounds like I should go to doctors. But it's like it's slightly harder to drink this. Doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that the Weihenstephaner is a lot smoother. But ultimately, this is absolutely superb again. It's cracking. It's lovely. Ridiculously refreshing. Ridiculously drinkable. Not much complexity to it. But you don't want it to be. You don't want it to be much complexity to it. It's malty, citrusy, floral. Lovely little bit of tiny bit of herbal spiciness at the back end there, just to round it off nicely. Very subtle bitterness. It's beautiful. It's an absolutely gorgeous beer from Paulaner. I just wish their Heller's Lager tasted like that. That's cracking. I'm going to give that a 9 out of 10. It's beautiful, massively drinkable. Not quite as good as the Weihenstephaner for me. You may feel differently. Let me know in the comments below if you've drunk either of these two. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Give it a thumbs up if you have. Until my next one, you take care.